It's the news nobody wanted to hear unless you're a Manchester City fan. It's a done deal. It's a here we go. Simultaneous tweets from David Ornstein of The Athletic and Fabrizio Romano saying that Manchester City are in full agreement with Elliot Anderson. He is going from Forest to City. It is done. The medical can be done. Well, Elliot Anderson is over with England in the States. This now is over. Elliot Anderson made his choice a while ago. Manchester City have been fighting Nottingham Forest for the fee and what it was going to cost. 2 bids rejected and now in finally. There is no word yet on the bid, but obviously this is going to be a record bid. They always wanted over 120 million guaranteed, so we can guess where pretty much where the finances are for this deal for Manchester City. It is a mega deal. They have got one of the best midfielders in the Premier League right now. Look, this is a Man United fan talking here. I'm just going to say it as it is. Elliot Anderson is a class operator. Any club in the world would want him in their team. I'm not going to try and play this down. I'm not going to try and ignore the fact that City have got one of the best players out there. There's nothing really to bring Elliot Anderson down with. He is just a good player and he's gone to City. Is this what big clubs do? Is this how they operate? They have a bad season. They have 2 bad seasons. They lose the best manager in the world right now. How do they counter that? Well, obviously Maresca is no Pep Guardiola, but one thing that you can guarantee is Manchester City making sure that they get the players that their managers need to compete at the highest level. And nobody was going to outbid Manchester City for Elliot Anderson. They made that very, very clear from the get-go. They were the ones that were pushing the talks. They were the ones that knew they had the finances in place. However they got them finances or got to the position to get them finances, we are still waiting to find out, obviously, with the so-called charges and financial fair play breaches. But City are just cracking on with business. It does not matter to them. They are ignoring the obvious and just getting on with it. Is this a sign of City getting as much business done as possible before them sanctions come in? Have they even been done? We have no idea. Again, this is just going to drag on while City does carry on. Should we just accept that Manchester City are just going to continue doing this now and buy the best players that are out there, spend ridiculous amounts of money in the same position, just throwing players away, selling players that are just not good enough, spending near enough the same amount of money in a previous January transfer window on Osmanov, and then obviously as well with the likes of Mamouche, Gonzalez in the position that Elliot Anderson would be obviously competing for as well. What does he do now? There is so much to look into this deal. And again, I don't think City are going to stop there. Elliot Anderson is probably one of the first of many this transfer window for Manchester City. But how are they getting away with it? I honestly don't know. But it is what it is now. Manchester City have an agreement with Forest. The money is in. How Forest spend that money, I don't know. They're going to struggle to find someone like that, but that's up to Marinakis now. He has finally crumbled. Could you even say crumbled, though, with that amount of money? What a piece of business. Nearly, when you calculate this, it's nearly £100 million in profit from Marinakis and what he's made on Elliot Anderson since he brought him in from Newcastle. And Newcastle probably the worst negotiators in any transfer deal ever. They have been taken for a ride this last few seasons in the transfer window, Newcastle. I'm not surprised the guy that's been there for over 13 years has left that football club. Why are you not putting a sell-on clause or a buyback clause into Elliot Anderson's contract with what is going on? I swear to God, honestly, it beggars belief, doesn't it? It really does. City taking full advantage. The big winners in this, I think, is Marinakis and Nottingham Forest for getting that fee. Like I said, 100 million profit. Can you imagine if you had a 10% sell-on, even just a 10% sell-on clause on this deal? Newcastle could have been raking in at least 13 million from this. I don't know why they didn't do it, but look, it's done. And Forest have reaped the rewards. They are in with this deal. They have sold Elliot Anderson to Manchester City. Every single journalist is on this now. And now we'll have to see if any of them City midfielders actually survive. Does Rodri move on now because Elliot Anderson is coming in? Do City now move on to the next target who could potentially be Tonali, who tonight has had another bid rejected from Newcastle from the Spurs offer that was made? They bid 75. There's another bid gone in. That has now been rejected as well. I hate to say this because obviously City, United, the rivalry and everything like that. I would not be surprised if City then made a move now on Sandro Tonali once they get Elliot Anderson wrapped up. Tottenham just haven't been able to seal this deal. They're moving fast. They're moving as quickly as they possibly can, but they haven't got anyone nailed down. These players are waiting. They're waiting for the big clubs to come. Elliot Anderson waited for City. He got that deal done. I could see Tonali doing exactly the same thing now with Manchester City, perhaps. We will see, won't we? But this is the first one, the massive one, the one that's going to change all of this transfer window, the one that's going to change the way that the inflation has worked within this window and what players now are going to go for. It is a mad one. It is a full-on crazy transfer window, and this is because of this deal with Elliot Anderson to Manchester City. Before we carry on, today's video sponsor is Oxford Natural. Now look, we're all football fans, we're all guilty of it. Match days, takeaways, sat there all weekend watching and binge watching all the football on the TV, waiting for the latest transfer news and breaking news to come through about our clubs. And before you know it, looking after yourself gets pushed down the list. That's where Oxford Natural's Optimum Day and Night supplements come in. First of all, you have Optimum Day, designed around energy and cravings and helping keep people on track. Then you have Optimum Night, based more around sleep and helping people recover properly. Nobody's saying it's magic, nobody's saying it's going to do the work for you, but with a commitment to making positive changes, some people have seen some impressive results. Take, for instance, former England striker Michael Owen, who lost £35 on his day and night plan. You can check out Michael Owen's story alongside many others on the link below. If you're thinking it's about time I sorted myself out, then it is definitely worth giving it a go. The QR code is on the screen. The link is in the description. Make sure you use code ADAMFC on checkout to get 70% off your first order. Now back to the football. So tell me, everybody, where does this put Manchester City when it comes to the title race? Are they automatically straight to title favourites now because they have bought the best midfielder that's available out there? They've added him to potentially Rodri. You've got Rodri and Elliot Anderson now. Obviously, City will deal with Reinders. They'll deal with Gonzalez. But if you're competing on all fronts, maybe them two players stay. They lost Bernardo Silva and have already moved on. Very good business from Manchester City in bringing the player in. You can argue the point of the actual price and what they've actually paid. British transfer record is what is being sounded out here and what's being said behind the scenes. Still no official confirmation on that yet. But what does this mean now when it comes to the title race? Do City go right to the top because they have bought the best midfielder out there? They were a million miles away from Arsenal. Arsenal haven't moved yet. They haven't bought anyone in. So let's just see how this develops now, and let's see what Manchester City do next. I think that's it. Like, as big as this deal is, it makes me think that City are ready to go again and go for the next target, which is a massive concern. Because if City go and improve on top of this as well and bring somebody else in, then it looks quite ominous for the rest of the league, doesn't it? I'm a little bit jealous, I must admit. I didn't want this to happen, but honestly, I'm still waiting for all the charges to come through as well. I just don't get why this is taking so long. I don't get why nothing can be done on this. And City are just laughing at everybody right now, spending another 100 million plus on a player. Well, they're under all of these charges. It's embarrassing for the Premier League right now. And it is City basically flipping the bird on the Premier League. We don't care what you're doing. We don't care what you're going to try and throw at us. We're just going to carry on because we know that we're going to beat you. That's the kind of message that's being sent in this here for me, I feel. But hey, look, let me know what you think, everybody. Get into the comment section below. Let me know. Do you think that Manchester City are automatically favourites now? Have they already gone stronger than what Arsenal have because they bought one of the best midfielders in the Premier League in? Or do you still think there's room for improvement for City? Could they go out and buy Tonali as well? Let me know. Get into the comment section, everybody. Thanks for watching. Please do pop a like on the video, get your comments in below, and subscribe to Adam FC. I will catch you all later. Thanks for watching, everybody.